Can you hear my guitar out there? This is not my first time in Dallas, Texas. First time I came here was 30 years ago with this band. Of course, the first time you start out rolling tour, you see everything through the window of a tour bus or an airplane. But since that time, I always take my bicycles with me, and I put them in the tour bus. I put them on the airplane, and I've come to know this city very, very well. I've come to know most of the suburbs as well. And I had a girlfriend from Dallas, Texas, for quite a while, made quite an impression on me. The suburbs, you know the suburbs where they tear out the trees and name the streets after. Back in the day, when the brothers and I used to play the backyard parties and, you know, all the youth club dances and all that stuff, my good friend Stan actually did drive an ice cream truck. That's right. There was a ritual every second Saturday of the month when Stan's mom would go to the Pasadena Rotarians meeting. Stan would phone in for work and tell me he had a cold, and we'd park the ice cream truck in the backyard by our swimming pool, and we'd throw all the ice cream away and use the freezer to keep the beer cold for the party that night. Maybe even more important than the party itself with the Michigan Street game, that was on Michigan Street. Right down the street on Alameda was where Kenny lived. And this was an important part of the ritual as well. Now let's admit it, we all had a friend named Kenny. You remember Kenny, who lived across the street over the garage, Kenny who lived under the garage, Kenny who lived in back of the garage. And a couple hours before the party, there would be the ritual at Kenny's house. We would all sit in Kenny's room, and there'd be like 8 or 9 of us in a big Indian-style circle, passing joints both ways. And pot had seeds back then. That sounds odd. And I remember vividly, like in slow motion, watching Kenny struggle with about 6 zigzags glued together, and in slow motion, watching the seeds drift down the face of a Pink Floyd album cover into a big glass jar. A big glass jar that was there for no other reason but that one purpose, for the seeds to go into it, about the size of a seat cushion. Remember Kenny now? And Kenny had painted the wall. Should I continue with this? Are you interested in this? Give an idea why the music sounds like it does, I tell you. Kenny had painted all the walls in his room black, okay? Because this was like the black light era. And right next to the black light Jimi Hendrix poster, underneath the black light was a dartboard. And we could never play darts very well, evidently. We would throw the darts and it would miss the board, and it would hit the wall next to it, and it would chip away the black paint, and the white wall underneath would come through, and underneath the black light, it looked like stars. We'd pretend we were looking out the windshield of the SS Enterprise. I remember it like it was yesterday. Saturday night, 1972.